Hello, this is Mayor David Stahl with another edition of Tell East Brunswick. This show is committed to keeping you informed all about the great activities that are happening here in East Brunswick. I'll either be speaking with residents or about how government works for you. Today I'm joined by Rich Wolfert and Daphne Speck-Bartinsky of the Township's Environmental Commission. Welcome.
Thank you.
Why don't you give us a brief overview of what the Environmental Commission does in town?
Basically, the Environmental Commission's focus is to bring nature and the environment to residents of East Brunswick and people in the surrounding region. We have a very broad range of programs that we present, from trips to lectures to butterfly walks to very important bird census counts and other things that we do throughout the year, and people are always invited to participate.
I know recently we saw the Salamander Crossing, which is not only of great interest here in East Brunswick. I know in the past we've seen news clippings from all around the world about that wonderful event that takes place. You want to just describe what's happened recently?
Recently we had a very unusual salamander migration event in that it took place about 2 weeks after the average start date, which meant they were raring to go, but we didn't have the weather for it. So the moment that we had a really good heavy rain with decent temperatures, we had 75 salamanders cross in one night, those that we were able to count. There probably were many, many more. There were 50 or 60 people on the road helping to move them from one part of the road to the other.
They move slowly. They don't move very quickly, which I was pleased to see, actually.
With quarter-inch legs, you can't go very fast.
And you have pictures of them on the website that you maintain?
Absolutely. Lots of pictures always, and pictures from past years. And the website is www.njnaturenotes.com. It has everything that we're doing in terms of nature and the environment, and all the programs, and including listings of when events are going to take place. Lots of different pages of information.
I know, because I'm on your email list, and you constantly keep us informed about what's happening in terms of the Environmental Commission and all the activities you talk about. Let's talk about, I know you're a big bird counting, bird watcher, and also a great photographer of that. What about that event?
We hold 2 major bird counts throughout the year, and basically we're trying to develop census data so we can see what's happening with birds in terms of our local environment with East Brunswick, and there's a greater interest in how it relates to what's going on with birds throughout the nation. Now, people say, why are birds of interest? The same reason why salamanders and frogs are of interest. They are essentially early warning alarms for when things are occurring within the environment. So when you're looking at birds, you're really not just focusing on birds alone, but they are indicative of good, bad, or changing environmental conditions. And over the years, we have seen some very, very interesting changes. We're running into our 5th year right now of our bird counts, and I think the 6th year of the salamander migration, and we're noticing certain things that are occurring. Our next major bird count is May 9th on a Saturday, which coincides with the big day bird counts and the World Series of Birding that National Audubon runs throughout New Jersey. And by the way, New Jersey is selected for that because they run a 24-hour bird count from the north of New Jersey down to Cape May. They must finish by midnight, and then they tally their lists. And they often get 220, 230 species in one day.
So you said that the next event's May 9th?
May 9th. We do it within East Brunswick alone, and what makes us unique is we get into the Edgeboro landfill as well. We have permission to do so, and that is a remarkable environment, but we survey the entire town. We'll do it for about 12 hours.
If someone wants to get involved in that event, how can they contact you or members of the commission?
Through the website. All they have to do is send an email. Wherever it says contact us, it gets to me, and I will make sure that that's forwarded properly and we get in touch with a person, whether they participate with our group or they add data from whatever their observations are throughout the day.
It's very user-friendly. You know, there's a link on the website, and actually the count goes to Cornell University, and they send you an email, and you know, it describes exactly what you need to do, and you know, it even sort of asks you, how accurate is your count? You know, are you very confident that you know all of the species, or might there be some wiggle room there? And the birds are an indicator as to how well the East Brunswick community is doing, and one of the missions of the East Brunswick Environmental Commission, as far as I'm concerned, is to make sure that East Brunswick is a sustainable community, and the birds and the salamanders are some indicators of how well, in addition to how well people can do here, too.
Daphne used the word sustainability. I know you and I have spoken in the past about, the energy that's being used in the township and other things, and you're very active in making sure that we're doing our energy audits. Let's talk a little bit about sustainability and energy.
Well, I understand there are a couple of different things. The town council has said that they felt that an energy audit for the town is a good idea. So I'm hoping that that will lead to a resolution and that we will go through with an energy audit. I'm hoping that there will be solar panels either on the roof of Churchill Junior High School or Hammershaw Middle School, depending on which school would be better suited. Apparently there are ways to not only put the panels on the roof of these schools, but also to put some kind of kiosk in a lab down within the school so that the children can see how many kilowatts and therms are generated, and so it would be a learning experience in addition to saving the township lots of money as far as energy is concerned. I understand there's an effort also within the township to perhaps get solar lights for the municipal parking lot and that kind of thing, so that's a really terrific effort. There is that state resolution, and actually it's a national goal to reduce energy consumption and make energy provided by renewable sources by the year 2020 to be at least 20%, although I've heard as much as 50%. But 20% would be good, or even 25% by 2020.
Well, I know the township, we are pursuing some of the stimulus money that's available for energy, and we're looking to retrofit or actually redesign some of our lighting around the municipal build complex so we become more energy efficient.
Great.
Outside in the municipal portion of the Kelman Lipinski open space that we purchased years ago, we're finally having the first year of our community gardens, and I know Rich has been out there working very, very hard in getting that ready. Rich, why don't you talk a little about the community gardens?
This was Dave Moskowitz's initial idea initially. Dave is an environmental scientist by profession, and he has, in his work throughout the state, seen quite a few community gardens, and he thought it would be a great idea here. And this is something he's been talking about for years. And it's taken us 2 years to this point, but we had wonderful cooperation from Parks to till the plot of land that we have. We have just over 1/4 of an acre on the Kellerman open space land adjacent to the police station parking lot. First, the Parks Department tilled it, water utility installed the water lines less than a week ago. Everything is in, and on Saturday we had a fantastic community day where 35 members of our community showed up to help do a fence raising. We actually installed most of the fencing, all the supplies that we had we exhausted, and the last of it came in a few days ago, and we'll now be able to finish it up this weekend. And the garden will be ready to open up probably May 2nd on Saturday.
And the folks that are participating, what do you anticipate that they're going to grow there?
Whatever they want.
Herbs, vegetables, flowers that they might not be able to grow at home.
A lot of us have very shaded backyards, and that's the problem. You have a lot of land, but not any good environment in which to grow fruits and vegetables and flowers in the back. So people are going to have a ball doing this. I just can't tell you how excited everybody is. It's been a wonderful way to mobilize the community. We have 80 families that will be involved this year, and we just can't wait to get started.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. One, you mentioned folks with shaded backyards. I like to use that as an excuse why I can't grow things, but realistically, I'm not very good with gardening. One of the nice things about the location, quite frankly, is out of the mayor's office. I can look right out my window and see the garden, so I'm looking forward to seeing everything that's growing there. So I'll live vicariously through that experience. I know also you mentioned that 80 families have signed up for it, and it basically was booked from the get-go.
Yes.
I'm looking forward, again, if you have a great season, that perhaps next year we can even make the area larger and you can get more people involved.
Wonderful.
We've thought about doubling it, and the water line is put in such a way that it would be very, very easy to expand on that. It's just another one of the activities that promotes community involvement in nature and the environment. But it leads back to something else with the Environmental Commission and with the Friends of the Environmental Commission, because in involving people in these aspects of our community, we're also helping to create an environmental awareness that many communities don't help to foster. And people want a world in which to live for their children and grandchildren that is sustainable, that is healthy. You must give them some way to gauge what is good and what is not. And we are also helping to create, and perhaps this is an overused phrase, but stewards of the environment in our students, in our children. And those who will be involved with these things will always have a feel for the working the ground, for things that are in the woods, in the forest, for open space, for lack of pollution. You want a clean, safe environment, and we have to start someplace, and this is a great way to do it and make it enjoyable at the same time.
Well, you mentioned the Friends of the Environmental Commission. What is that group, and how can people get involved with that?
Well, the Friends is an organization that can do things in support of the Environmental Commission at times, and sometimes quite independently, but we can do things that the Environmental Commission is not allowed to do. The Commission cannot pay for speakers. We cannot purchase large amounts of supplies, such as for the community garden. But the Friends can. The Friends is of the East Brunswick Environmental Commission is a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and we have members. We can accept donations. We can solicit assistance from other organizations or people in a way that the town cannot.
We can educate. You know, I have a sister and a sister who's a master gardener and a brother who's very good at gardening, but I didn't get those genes for whatever reason, but I'm hoping to learn more about gardening through the community garden. You know, and I was successful last summer in my own home garden, but I want to learn more about what to do and that kind of thing.
How would someone find out some more information about the Friends?
It's all on the website. There's a Friends page there. We have, the website is very, very extensive.
I understand that from listening to you.
You really go through it, and you're not going to get through it quickly. There are hundreds and hundreds of photographs on it. It's very graphic intensive. We've tried to make it very interesting and very interactive. And there are links to all kinds of different resources on it. So there is a Friends page, and if you wish to join the Friends or even just to be on our email list, we now have over 450 people who receive our emails regularly. They find out about our trips and events way before they make it into the newspapers or onto Channel 3. So by getting onto the list, it makes it a much more effective way of making sure that you get your spot on a trip or on an event, or there's room for you at a lecture. So just, it's all there. Just look at the website.
Tomorrow night, members of the community garden who were selected are going to be together to discuss what the rules are of the garden and that kind of thing.
Right here at the library.
And it's fitting that it's on Earth Day.
That's great. I mean, you've described a lot of fantastic activities and events that the Environmental Commission sponsors. I would encourage all our residents to go to the website and learn more about your group. Again, those of us who have not signed up to participate in the community gardens, I think we should all come out and enjoy everything that's being grown there. I think it's a great idea. I want to commend you and everyone on the Environmental Commission for being so active in East Brunswick. I think it's groups like yours that helps make East Brunswick the great community that it is. And I am looking forward to working with you guys in the future, particularly on issues like composting as we move to change how our solid waste is collected. I think composting is an issue that we can talk about in the future. Again, I thank you for taking time today to speak with me and everyone at home.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for your interest.
I'm now joined with Rob Eccles of the American Cancer Society. As you may know, East Brunswick is a host event for the Relay for Life fundraising event held by the American Cancer Society on May 30th. I thought it was important to speak with Rob and provide some more information for our residents about that event. First, Rob, welcome. Appreciate you spending some time with me here today and informing our residents. First, could you tell us about how you got involved with the American Cancer Society?
Sure. Cancer has always been a very important issue in my life. I lost both of my grandfathers to cancer, to lung cancer, one of them into brain cancer. And seeing two of the biggest, strongest guys I ever knew in my life kind of cut down in the prime of their lives to cancer really got me involved in the cause. I did a lot of hospital work over the years and finally landed at the American Cancer Society, found the right opportunity there. And it's really a tremendous organization. I've never been more proud to be part of an organization, the kind of work that we do around affecting cancer and improving quality of life for those going through the cancer experience. It's really great things.
I mean, I understand the difficulties that you faced with your grandfathers, as you indicated, and unfortunately, so many of our residents have also dealt with people that they know, loved ones and friends who've been stricken with cancer.
Sure.
And I've heard stories about how supportive the American Cancer Society has been. Want to describe some of the services that they offer?
Sure. We right now in central New Jersey, my region covers Middlesex and Mercer County, and that's considered central New Jersey for us. And in central New Jersey, about 6,000 residents will be diagnosed with cancer this year. So it's a tremendous problem. There's a tremendous need for our services. And the way that we provide services, we really break it down into 4 different areas. We have research. We're the largest non-governmental source of cancer research funds in the United States. Education. And when I say education, I mean that we're out there promoting prevention and early detection all throughout schools and companies and healthcare systems within Middlesex and Mercer County. Then we have patient services, and patient services is tremendously important to us. We have 2 full-time staff members, a patient service director and a coordinator, who are out there providing programs and services and referrals and navigation services throughout Middlesex and Mercer County. So we have programs. A lot of people know who the American Cancer Society is, but they don't really know what we do. They don't realize if they call our 800 number and they're going through a cancer experience, we can provide them with financial assistance to help ease the burden of transportation or medication costs. They often don't realize that we can provide free rides to and from treatment. So simply by calling our 800 number, we can get them set up with a volunteer driver who can drive them to and from their treatment, because getting to and from treatment is one of the largest burdens when it comes to being treated for cancer. We have programs like Look Good, Feel Better, which assist women with cosmetics and wigs and things like that when they're going through the cancer experience, to help them kind of maintain a sense of control and self-worth throughout the experience, which is one of the most difficult experiences someone can go through in their lives. And we have another great program called Reach to Recovery, which allows someone who's newly diagnosed with breast cancer to actually speak with somebody who's been through the disease and learn, what the experience was like, kind of get some peace of mind and have that personal connection with someone who's been through what they're going through right now. So we have tremendous programs throughout the entire United States, but really, really robust programs right here in Middlesex and Mercer County.
You mentioned an 800 number. Can you provide that number for us?
Yeah, our 800 number is 1-800-ACS-2345. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call on Christmas Eve at 3 o'clock in the morning and you'll speak to a live person who is a cancer specialist. So you'll be able to speak with someone, any questions that you have. They're trained, very well trained to handle those questions. So we really pride ourselves on being a resource that's there all the time when people need us.
Well, that's good. And obviously, this is going to take a lot of financial resources to make the American Cancer Society be able to provide these services. I know one of the large fundraising events throughout the country is these Relay for Life events. And East Brunswick is, as I mentioned before, going to be hosting one on May 30th.
Right.
First, why East Brunswick?
East Brunswick is a very large town with a lot of great people in it. It's very important for us to be involved in East Brunswick. The interesting thing about Relay for Life is it's not only a fundraising opportunity for us. Relay for Life is really our prime strategy for engaging communities in the fight against cancer. So we're coming in, we're not only looking to raise money, though we're certainly looking to raise money. We're looking to raise awareness about the fight against cancer and really mobilize people to get out there and do something about it. So Relay for Life is the signature event of the American Cancer Society. It's an event that happens over a 24-hour period, or excuse me, a 12-hour period. So we come in at 7 o'clock at night. We're here till 7 o'clock the next morning. Teams form, and one person is walking around a track the entire time. throughout the course of the night. We say it's an overnight event, but if people don't want to stay overnight, they don't necessarily have to. But it's really, really a tremendous event. And the idea behind Relay for Life is that we want to celebrate people that are going through the cancer experience or caregivers that are helping people go through the cancer experience. We want to remember those that have lost their battle to cancer. So it's a survivorship event. It's very important for us to remember and honor those that have lost their battle. And then we want to fight back. And the way we fight back is through promoting awareness and raising money. And that money supports our programs in research, education, advocacy, and patient services.
So the event this year, as I said in East Brunswick, is May 30th. It's going to be held up at our Heavenly Farms Athletic Complex.
Right.
You mentioned a track, and I've spoken with you and Michelle. We don't actually have a track up there. We're going to create a track.
Create a track.
So it's not just the walking. I know there's a lot of other activities. You're going to have a DJ up there, and teams can actually camp out. Why don't you describe some of those events?
The way it happens is we'll set up kind of an impromptu track around a centralized area where people will camp out. And they'll set up tents and they'll camp out all night long. And all night long there are activities, there's entertainment, things to keep people engaged all night long. It's really an all-night party in order to celebrate, remember, and fight back. So it's a really great experience. If anyone has never been to a Relay for Life event, it would be great to come on out and take a look and get involved however you can. It really is a tremendous, tremendous activity. You
mentioned involvement. How can people get involved? I know we are forming teams.
Right.
And why don't you describe a little bit about that process, how they can go online to either register a team or even donate to a team?
Yep. It's very easy to go online and start a team. We ask teams to be from 8 to 15 people, but you can have a team of 5 people if you need to. And you just go online, you set up a team name, and the website is www.relayforlife.org/East Brunswick, New Jersey. So it's very easy. You go on there, you pick a team name, you set up your team, and you can begin sending out emails asking people to join your team or asking people to donate online. It's a very simple process. And if you are not able to set up a team, you can always just go online and donate to the event. So it's a very simple, easy process. We have all sorts of tools that are there to help people recruit team members and recruit donors to their teams. It's high tech, but it's very customer friendly.
Yeah, I know that one. When you talk about high tech, I signed up my team. We formed a team between the mayor's office and town council.
Right.
And I'm not a very tech savvy person, but it is easy to follow.
Yep.
And once you're there, even if you're not wanting to join the team, it's easy to donate.
Yep.
There's plenty of links there. And I would encourage all our residents, to get involved. Even if they don't want to donate or they're unable to because of the financial situation, I'm sure there's other methods that they can help volunteer to the group, whether it's either for that event or other ways.
Absolutely. We have a great committee of people who are helping us get the event up and running. So we definitely have opportunities for people to join the committee here in East Brunswick. We have opportunities for people to volunteer the day of the event. And you can contact 1-800-ACS-2345 to speak with our event director and find out how to volunteer. It's a very fulfilling experience, volunteering. So if you're not, you don't feel like you're going to be able to set up a team or you're not able to donate for whatever reason, come on out, volunteer, join the committee, get involved in the walk.
I was speaking with Michelle, also of the American Cancer Society, who's one of the coordinators for this Relay for Life event. And she mentioned to me that we're going to kind of paint East Brunswick purple a little bit around the municipal complex. What's the importance of that, or what does that symbolize?
Purple is the signature color of Relay for Life. And what we do is, in order to get communities and towns engaged, is a few weeks before the event, typically we'll come out and we'll do a Paint the Town Purple. So I think we'll be doing Paint the Town Purple here in East Brunswick on May 4th. And the idea is to have Relay for Life symbols, the Relay for Life purple signature color, all throughout the community to get people engaged and aware of the event and what's happening.
So you said, I think you said May 4th that day. And again, speaking with Michelle, we're going to do that around the municipal complex between Town Hall, the Senior Center, and here at the library. People want to get involved in that event. Will there be some information they can find out? Or how can
Absolutely. I would say reach out to Michelle, and you can reach her through our 800 number at 1-800-ACS-2345. Talk to her about getting involved, and I'm sure she's going to need people to go out and help her paint this entire town purple. So.
Right, I'm sure we'll also look from a community standpoint to use our great EBTV Channel 3, our bulletin board, to provide some information for residents up there, so they can look for the Channel 3 information as well as from the information coming from the American Cancer Society.
Yep.
Anything else that you want to talk about? What services the society offers for residents involved? I know you've described briefly before some of the great activities and support staff that you provide.
Sure. Yeah, one of the things I'm really most proud about, particularly here in Central New Jersey is really the hotbed of research activities that are going on in New Jersey. So we're working very closely with UMDNJ in Piscataway, Rutgers University, and Princeton University. And there's about $6 million worth of funding going on. ACS-funded researchers, American Cancer Society funded researchers at those 3 institutions. So when you talk about where the next major breakthrough in cancer prevention or detection can come from, it's very possible that the next major breakthrough can come right from our own backyard. And the funds that are raised through events like Relay for Life go directly to support things like that. So I'm very proud of some of the research that we have going on. Again, as I said, our education activities, we like to get involved in the schools and the healthcare systems and companies. So any schools or healthcare systems companies that are here in East Brunswick, we'd love to get involved with you and come out and talk to your people and make sure you're doing everything you can around prevention and early detection. And then I really want to make sure that people are capitalizing and taking advantage of our patient family service programs. Going through cancer is one of the most difficult experiences a person or a family can go through. We have a tremendous amount of resources. I want to make sure people are exposed to those.
You mentioned resources, and when I attended one of the meetings that the Relay for Life folks had here at the library, one of the relatives of a cancer survivor mentioned that because of the language barrier that often exists, we have a very diverse community, that I learned that not only do you supply obviously information in English, but you have many different languages of information available. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we just formed a new patient service center that is situated right in the Eastern Division, and our Eastern Division is New York and New Jersey. And we have staff there that speak 14 different languages. So no matter pretty much what language you speak, you can call up and you can speak with someone who speaks your language and can translate the information for your purposes. If it's a language that you don't speak, then we have a service that can cover those languages as well. But we have staff members that cover 14 different languages, and they're full-time. You have access to them all the time. We also have a lot of our publications and materials are printed in languages other than English. So we do everything we can to make sure that we're reaching underserved populations, and sometimes populations that have higher rates of different types of cancers as well.
All right, well, Rob, I really appreciate you spending some time with us today. I would encourage everyone in East Brunswick to get involved with the Relay for Life. I think it's a great event. I know our town is a very caring town, so I'm anticipating, a large turnout, and I'm really looking forward to raising a lot of money so that the American Cancer Society, can continue its great work and be beneficial to those in need of those services. This has been Mayor David Stahl with another edition of Totally East Brunswick. I appreciate you watching today and staying informed on the great activities done by our local Environmental Commission, and look forward to your participation with the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life to be held at the Heavenly Farms Complex on May 30th. Please get involved. As always, I welcome your information and concerns about the township. I could be reached at the Mayor's office at 732-390-6810. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.